Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Real-Time Enterprise channel on VANTIQ TV, our video and podcast series of interviews with thought leaders and practitioners in digital transformation and the real-time enterprise. My name is Blaine Mathieu, and I'm Chief Marketing and Product Officer at VANTIQ. Note that you can reach either myself or the guest by sending a note to realtime@vantic.com, and we will be more than happy to follow up. Joining me today is Stéphane Marcon, Technical Director and Partner at Infosquare, consulting firm, systems integrator, and application development firm with offices in Belgium, France, and Canada. Welcome, Stéphane.
Hi.
Great to have you here. Now, as you can probably hear, we are actually outside the RAI Exhibition Center in Amsterdam, where I am speaking at the IoT Tech Expo, and VANTIQ is exhibiting alongside Infosquare about real-time event-driven applications. So it's great to have you with me today, Stéphane. Appreciate your help on the podcast as well as in the exhibition.
Fantastic exhibition.
Very interesting. It has been very interesting and very busy. So Stéphane, tell me about your role in managing and hiring people, which is really the main topic we're going to be discussing in this podcast.
Yes, my role at Infosquare is technical director, which means that I'm overseeing the delivery of projects and solutions that we are building at Infosquare. And this involves, of course, managing people, direct management of people or indirect management of people, and also hiring people, of course, to fuel our different projects here.
And most of these people are technical, they're developers, or what are the roles of these people?
I mean, we have different profiles. I would say that most of the people are industry, for I would say a big part of them they are industry experts, so people having an IT background but still understanding the functional side of what they are delivering, and a lot of new comers from the new generation, so people that are just out of the university or of school, the education cycle, let's say. So both profiles cohabitate, I would say, at Infosquare, with really senior people and then very young people that are able also to join those different projects we're working on.
Interesting. And I think from our discussion earlier today, it's that the focus on that next generation of employees, especially in technical roles, that I think, I was very interested to hear some of your thoughts on.
Yeah.
So, maybe why don't you start us off with some of your thoughts on how you can help attract, motivate, and retain that next generation of developer.
Yes, I mean, first I would say that that's not only a challenge for Infosquare. I think that's a challenge for an entire industry for the moment.
Absolutely.
And different industries actually. So I mean, Millennials, as we call them, or the new generation of people, I would say, that are out of our fantastic universities. They are really a focus for a lot of different industries, and hiring people is becoming more and more challenging. I mean, finding the good people, identifying those, and keeping those is also a very big challenge. So I think that's the topic, I would say, of our call: how we hire, or our talk, sorry, how we hire people, what is the best way to identify their potential, I mean the high potential individuals, and also keep them on our interesting projects and on the long term.
Well, given how challenging it can be to find, the perfect employees, what do you have to do to attract them in the first place? What have you found is effective in attracting these people to Infosquare with all the choices they have?
Yeah, true. So, I mean, first we're liaising also with different universities and schools to be able to detect as soon as possible high potential. So that's also a background work that we are doing constantly. Second, I would say that the easiest way to attract people is to have interesting projects. So interesting projects that deliver real value, practical value, and I would say correctly define and scope value to the customer. With new technologies also, so identifying good projects that we are able to address with new technologies, interesting technologies, the best technologies on the market ideally.
So is it more about the projects, or is it about the ability to use the latest and newest technology?
Both.
Yeah.
Exactly both. So that is the double challenge that we have, is that having the good projects and ensuring that those, and that's a win-win situation for our customers also. So ensuring that those projects are handled or are answered. I mean, those use cases are answered with the best technologies. And if you use the best technologies, the ones that are the most productive, you deliver value to your customers, and consultants in general understand that value. The development cycles shorten, so they're able to understand very quickly what is the value that we are delivering to the customer. So
So you're saying they don't want to be on 2-year-long projects where they don't see value until far, far off in the future. They get excited about creating value now.
Exactly. So they're interested exactly in what our customers are interested in. So
Right.
those millennials are interested in generating value, understanding the value that they are providing, understanding their position, their role is in this value chain or value delivery chain. They need to understand that very quickly in terms of weeks. Sometimes we need to help them understand sometimes, but I mean, they are smart enough to understand themselves what is the value of what they are delivering. They need to understand that fast, be able to provide on their side also to handle the project as it would be their own projects. So we are not speaking about projects that are customers' projects only. I mean, this is their project, and they need to be involved from the very beginning and feel that this is their project and they're delivering with the best technologies in a short period of time, the best value for the customers.
And you were telling me earlier that they think of that value they're delivering literally in terms of weeks. Like they have to see progress, see that they're adding value to the customer, to their own careers, almost week by week, or they're continually reassessing whether
Exactly.
they're adding enough value, whether they belong.
Exactly. So they need to really understand what they are bringing to their CV also. So I mean, in terms of practical questions, they need to understand, okay, what am I building as an experience right now? I mean, in reality, in real time, right now, what am I building as an experience? Where am I going? They need to understand that. I would say maybe the older generations did not, had the time, I would say, to understand where am I going to. Okay, is that very important that I understand right now? I mean, in every single day where I'm going to. Maybe less than this new generation. And this new generation is really about, okay, every single day that I come to work, I need to understand what I'm doing. I need to understand my role into the value.
And why you're doing it, right?
Exactly.
It's the why.
Why, exactly.
Yeah.
Why we are, why am I coming to work every
Yeah.
single day on this place or working from home or whatever the delivery model, I would say. What am I doing? What is the sense of what I'm doing?
And what about, so you touched on the technology side a few minutes ago. What do you feel on the technology side is interesting to this generation? So many possible technologies, so many fields technologists can be working in these days. What do you think? What kind of tools I think would make them excited to be involved with?
First, I would say low code and high productivity tools. I mean, certainly, whatever we touch, whether that's about application servers, web servers, databases, blockchain now, etc., AI in general. I mean, the interesting thing is that it should deliver value quick, really. So high productivity, I think, as for our customers, high productivity is the key word. So I need to be able to assemble maybe different technologies to address a particular value, about a particular use case, I would say, deliver value. But those technologies must do, and then we enter into, technically into maybe microservices, microservices technical question. Those technologies need to do what they are doing in an excellent way. They should focus on what they are doing good. So they expect technologies or editors of technologies to do exactly and only what they are good at.
Yeah.
So trying to assemble or integrate different technologies is interesting for them, as long as those technologies are fitted for a particular I would say, part of a delivery value.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and what that leads me to think about is, and the overall concept for this podcast is the real-time enterprise. And so this is not only, I think, about the low-code, high-productivity way of rapidly building these applications, but then it must be also about the kind of applications they're building are now becoming real-time applications. They're building the next Uber application, right?
Exactly.
The next, these are not applications where you're putting, all the data into a database and deriving value later, but it's about the immediacy of enabling a process or a system to derive value in real time.
Exactly.
Is that part of it as well?
Yeah, for sure. And what I would also add to that is that most of those use cases that are real-time ones are practical use cases. So we are not speaking about working on a sub-part of a bigger process that integrates data from different sources. No, we are speaking about a practical case that our customers is able to describe in a very precise way, and we need to answer that practical case in most of the time. Those are really practical cases that anyone can understand, and we don't need, on most of the cases actually, you don't need senior people with a fantastic background also to understand those, because those are practical questions. Those are practical use cases, practical problems that our customers and most of those I would say, maybe also we are also as citizens or as individuals, we are facing sometimes the exact same problems as our customers. So those people, those millennials that are now using their smartphones every single day, that are ordering whatever they are doing, that are ordering a cab or something like that in real time, that are trying to, I would say, use digital technologies and use the best of the technologies that they have in hands to live their lives, right? They have the exact same problems as our customers. So they need also to be fast, they need also to be the most productive and select those technologies at a given time to answer a particular problem, and be fast at selecting those and be fast at using those. So they have the same problems as our customers.
You said something a second ago I want to dive into a bit more about the experience that these people have coming in. So is it helpful for them to have lots of experience using different, the previous generation of tools and solutions, or do you prefer people who have more of a blank slate?
Very good question. Very good question. For me, it is okay, and we are back then to the millennials way of seeing life. It is okay to. It is okay if I have a senior profile that is able to sort of erase for a certain time what he knows and take a step back, right, and understand and challenge the technologies that are currently emerging. It is perfectly okay. Then this senior profile is very interesting for me. If he's able to step back, understand and digest his experience, perfect profile. Now it's about erasing and accepting and being able to put your shoes actually in a new, in the position of someone that discovers technology, accepts it for the value that it provides now, quickly, and not going back sometimes into schemas that are not relevant anymore. So it's about how you accept new technologies. So the seniority part of the profiles that we are hiring, is exactly that. How are you able to digest what you have done, make it a real experience, certainly a domain-specific experience most of the time, industry-specific experience also, apart from the technical side, but how are you able to move to something else quickly? I mean, because our customers need to do that. I mean, you don't bring digital, I would say, disruption or disruption in general. You don't do disruptive activities if you keep thinking the same way. If you keep thinking the same way as your competitors have been thinking for years and years and this, I mean, you're not disrupting. So
So are you trying to hire though mostly folks with experience who somehow you get the feeling they're able to forget or let go of the old schemas, the old way of doing things?
Exactly.
Or are you looking actually more for that next generation that never had the old schemas in their mind in the first place?
Both.
Right.
So that's exactly, I mean, both are interesting for us. And more, I would say that the middle class of profiles actually is less interesting maybe for us. Like high profile with seniority, able to ingest new technologies, and millennials. People that I can offer new technologies, they grab it from the very beginning. In a matter of days, they're able to understand quickly, okay, this does that, and it does that. This solution is scoped, I would say, on that particular problem, and I grab it and I go on with it.
Yeah.
So and you have to propose, of course, then new technologies that are relevant ones. I mean, for sure, it's not about just proposing technologies, new technologies that people don't know, etc. It's about proposing the good ones. So selecting the good ones.
Yeah.
That's my job also.
Yeah.
Selecting good technologies so that we can address. Most of the time, it's not anymore about selecting one technology, one single technology. It's about orchestrating several technologies and selecting for a particular use case or for a particular part of the value chain, the technologies that is fitted for that one. I need to translate a document. That's another solution. I will use the best solution to translate a document. If I used to, I mean, any single domain needs to be addressed with the best tools, and it's about orchestration. The orchestration side is the most important now, because this is where the same way customers are orchestrating their delivery chain with getting the most effective partner to deliver on a particular portion of their delivery chain, we have to do that the same on the IT side. And this is something that millennials understand perfectly, because they know that they are catching at a given moment the best technology to deliver, I mean the best solution to tackle a particular problem, and they move on, right? I've used that, fantastic, it delivered a fantastic value at the real time. In real time, I got the good value, and now I move to something else. And we are all moving to different subjects actually. So get the best technology, use it in real time, use it at the moment that you're needing, then move on to another problem or case.
Interesting, very interesting. So to cycle back to the beginning and talking about how we retain and motivate these employees, it sounds like what you're saying is even the notion of an employee is almost outdated with millennials. It's more like a partner. Is that accurate, or is that overstating it?
That's exactly the definition that I would give it. That I will give for the new generation that we are all, ingesting as resources and as potentials for companies. It is more about a win-win situation. So the same way that you're handling, that you're partnering with a customer to tackle a particular problem, you also have to establish this win-win situation with your own resources, with your employees. They need to understand what they are gaining from you. You need to understand what you're gaining from them, of course. And I think that the key maybe is the transparency. So as long as on both sides we're understanding what we are winning, what we are gaining from both sides, actually, we are in a good, I would say, productive collaboration. So, maybe it's a speech that is a little bit distracting. For people to understand, but I think that millennials understand that completely. They look at the relation they have with companies in a partnering or collaborating way. So what do you have to offer to me as an individual? What does the company has to offer to me as an individual? Where am I building experience? Where am I doing what I'm liking? I mean, where am I discovering new things? Where am I targeting subjects that I'm learning on, that are new to me, maybe completely new to me, why not? And where am I getting experience? Please, I mean, you have to make me understand what is the value of what I'm doing now. Not in 6 months, not in 1 year, not in 5 years. Because in 5 years, I don't know where I am. I don't know where you will be as an organization. I mean, we're all living in a I would say a system or an environment where things are changing that fast that you need to grab the value of things in real time at the good moment. Grab it because you don't know what is next, right? So grab it at that moment. Understand what is the interest, your interest in a particular situation. Understanding quickly.
Really
Is that
interesting.
clear?
It's very
Is
clear,
that clear?
and it sounds like if you don't engage in that collaborative partnership with your employees, they're very willing to partner with somebody else on short order.
And it's about accepting that risk. I mean, the seniority for me of an organization now is about understanding that.
Yeah.
Understanding that this is the key challenge for hiring people. This is really key. I mean, for me, it is really key. I mean, we have to go to another way of seeing employment and seeing our employees and enter into this transparency. This is challenging, right? Because this requires, of course, to have the good projects to provide to people, right?
Right.
I mean, that's a real challenge. So that's why on our side we are focusing also on high value projects, right? So being able to propose those high value projects to our employees also, and not only to our customers.
Very interesting. Well, Stéphane, this has been a really insightful interview. It's great to speak to somebody on the front lines of not only creating the next generation of applications, but hiring that next generation of people to create the applications. So it's been really enjoyable. For those that would like more information on Infosquare, you can check out infosquare.eu, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
It's Blaine.
If you would like to subscribe to the podcast version of The Real-Time Enterprise, search for The Real-Time Enterprise on iTunes or SoundCloud. And if you are already listening to the podcast version of The Real-Time Enterprise, please leave a rating or comment and let us know how you are enjoying the show.